to another episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. And as you can see on the left hand side of the screen, we are once again going through the Modern Stoicism.com site, and yet again the new translation of Enchiridion, or the Handbook by Epictetus. Epictetus, before, just because I'm kind of thinking about it, a former slave, and then turning into one of the, I think actually later on, not kind of immediately, but later on, turning into one of the most important Stoics there is. And, maybe both most interesting and most important. Of course, it depends on many opinions. But anyway, we have, I think, stopped with chapter 10. Yes, we've stopped with chapter 10, so let's go ahead with chapter 11. Don't ever say about anything that I have lost it, but rather I have returned it. Has your child died? You have returned it. Has your wife died? You have returned her. My property has been stolen, then the too has been returned. But the man took it was a bad man. Who does the character of the man who the giver used to take your property back matter to you? As long as it is given to you, take care of it as you care for what belongs to someone else, like the travelers take care of an inn. This is one of the concepts that I do understand that it might make life a bit easier, because it's just been returned. You have not lost something. It's just been returned to its original owner, quote unquote. It kind of makes things, or puts things into perspective, and might make things easier to handle with, or to deal with, when something really bad happens. This could be the case. But regarding any other situation, I don't really know. I really don't know. Chapter 12. If you want to make progress, rid yourself of thoughts such as, if I do not care for my things, I will not have any means of living, or if I do not punish my slave, he will be worthless, because it would be better to die by hunger and by doing so rid oneself of pain and fear than to live in wealth while still being upset, and it would be better if your slave turned out worthless than if you yourself were miserable. Begin therefore with the small things. If some of your olive oil is poured out, or a little of your wine is stolen, say that this is the price of freedom from emotions. This is the price of serenity. There is no such thing as a free lunch where you call for your slave. Consider that he might not listen, or that he might listen but not do that what you want him to do. Things are not so well for him that whether you get upset or not depends on him. Comment on chapter 12 once again is just about the translation, why it is translated in this or the other way, and so on. Chapter 13. If you want to make progress, you must endure a reputation for being stupid and foolish with regards to the external things, and do not wish to appear to understand anything. If you have a reputation for being someone, distrust yourself, because you know it is not easy to both make sure that you have your will in accordance with nature and also take care of externals, and that if you care for the one, you must necessarily be careless with regards to the other. And this is, I guess, I have not read it before, as far as I know, as far as I remember, but it is a very good one. It basically is about not caring about anything or anyone, even though, when it is about that, I always think, of course I care about what my mother might think about me, and regarding certain things, not necessarily everything, and also other very close people to me. Of course I care about that. It's totally normal, and I would say it's also very good to care about that, because sometimes we do not see certain things that we should be seeing. And it is very important that we're having people around us that show us these things. It's like a blind spot, or it is just a blind spot, and it's very important to keep in mind that we all have them. Nonetheless, when we care about everything and everyone, it's not going to be very easy for us to live, quote unquote, in accordance to nature, and not just maybe live the life that we want to live, because there are so many opinions and there are so many thoughts, and there are so many other things that might, that might indeed trouble us, or create trouble, or some other negative emotions, some other negative things. But, it's not easy. It really isn't to do so, to live a good life while, really taking care of everything, and or just, caring about everyone. Chapter 13. Oh no, I'm sorry, 14. If you want your children, your wife, and your friends to live forever, you are foolish, because then you wish that the things that do not depend on you should depend on you, and that what is not your own should be your own. And if you wish for your slave to not do anything wrong, you are an idiot, because then you wish that what is bad should not be bad, but rather something different. But if you wish that you should not fail to get the things that you strive for, that is possible. Practice them so to be able to get them. The master of each of us is the one who has the authority over the things that we wish for, or who has the authority to keep away what he wants to avoid. Therefore, those who want to be free should neither wish for nor flee from something that depends on others. If we do not do this, they will necessarily be slaves. Well, in the end, you can't do anything about that, because it is because of somebody else, as he says, something that depends on others, quote unquote. If this is the case, we can't do anything about that, and the only thing that we can do is, changing the way we think about that, changing the way we deal with it. Just certain things that we can do that only have to do, or have something to do with us, and period. Nothing more, nothing less. That is it. But yeah. And then there is another comment, and then there is 15, 16, 17, and that is it. And also that is going to be it with the episode. I keep the other 3 for the next one, and there should, maybe there already is, a third part of this pretty great translation. It makes things rather easy to understand and rather easy to go through, and also rather easy to read, because, very old texts, at least for me, are not necessarily easy to read, and actually also nice to read when I'm having it to read it for someone else. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna see you next time, I at least hope, and see you soon. Bye bye.